Hello, my name is Opal Singleton. I'm the president and CEO of Million Kids. We're going to talk today, especially parents and grandparents, but everyone, about the importance for a family to have a conversation about putting nudes online. It's an interesting situation. I've been working with keeping kids safe from predators now for many years, 15 years. Our organization is Million Kids, millionkids.org. I hope that you will follow all of our social media. You can access all the information you want at millionkids.org. Also, you may want to join us on Facebook at Million Kids Supporters. It is a private group where we train people in depth about the latest news about keeping kids safe online. I want to give you a quick disclaimer that this is really for uh, your health, your ability to be able to solve problems and know more about a subject. And it's not a set of rules that you must follow, but it is a conversation to open your eyes. Well, the numbers are absolutely staggering. For most adults, the thought of sending an image online of our nude body is just terrifying. It's simply out of the scope of understanding. But honestly, for young people, it's often seen as a routine kind of socialization. Image-based sexting has steadily increased over the past few years. Sexual images created by minors and shared online are called self-generated CSAM. CSAM is another word for child pornography, child sexual abuse materials. You see, when a child takes their own image, someone under the age of 18, or someone else's image under 18, they are generating child pornography or CSAM. If they share that with others, they're distributing that. And so we need to talk with our kids about that because creating CSAM is illegal in almost every state in America. But there's some trends taking place, and that's why I wanted to share with you today. According to some research put on by Thorn, and they are like the best in the business, they're a nonprofit organization dedicated to prevention of child sexual abuse. Their research indicates that 1 in 5 teenagers have reported that they have shared a nude online, and 1 in 7 kids that are preteens, this is scary as all heck, they have shared a nude online. 1 in 6 minors say their friends have often reshared a non consensual nude that has been posted online. The Thorns research further indicates that preteen and teen boys perceive nude sharing behavior as absolutely normal. Boys are a higher likelihood than girls to believe that resharing other people's content is legal. Young people online encounters growing riskier. Flirting with adults they meet online, they see that as normal, but then again, they may not know who they're talking to. Things are changing and changing at the speed of light based on technology. So let's talk about those changes. Your first line of defense, mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, is have an open conversation. Sit down with your child. It can't be one of those thou shalt not, although certainly there should be parameters and rules. But it is important that everybody come together and understand the environment that we're all living in and develop a joint strategy on how to deal with it. What I know about kids is most of them don't want to be violated, but they won't realize when they are about to get in trouble. So let's educate your families about sextortion and online social media exploitation. The hardest thing that we deal with in dealing with these cases, and yes, I deal with real cases, is this idea it won't happen to me. Every kid I've ever met thinks they're going to know if they're being catfished. They will not know, I tell you that. Quite frankly, several parents think, oh, they don't know what that F word means, and they don't really mean it, and yeah, they're talking to somebody, but I think it's harmless. This is exactly how it starts, is it the denial that it won't happen to me. Beginning 2022, our world experienced a technology transformation unlike we have ever seen in all of history. And that changes everything, especially in the world of sextortion. Now, every country in the world will be online, and they have 5G high speed internet. There are now more than 5 billion people online around the world. That means that our kids can reach the entire world, but the entire world can also reach our kids. Global connection means anyone can be accessed by foreign national cartels and organized crime at any time. So this high-speed internet connection means criminal organization working in poor countries can access and blackmail our kids, even the elderly, grandma and grandpa, and naive adults at any given time. If you're in a video game chat room or a dating site, a hookup site, or you're getting direct messages, that means you are connected to the whole world where people can reach you. And that's even true for our prepubescent children when you realize that all the people of the world, and some of them are good and some of them aren't, but they can access anybody that's online. So a child who's prepubescent is extremely in danger because they will not recognize when they are about to be extorted. A single TikTok video or Instagram post can reach millions of people, and those people can reach back to you. And on top of it, parents don't seem to realize not only can they reach back to our child, but they can access the list of all of their followers on TikTok or Instagram. One of the important conversations to have, mom and dad, is once a nude is shared, you cannot get it back. And you lose control over whoever is going to see it. It can go around the world in a heartbeat. A photo shared online changes your life. I often share with kids, anybody who wants your nude photo is not going to be your friend because that makes you vulnerable to what can happen to you. Sending a nude today can mean putting yourself and your family at great risk. Many apps now have geolocation software. That means that they can tell where you're transmitting from. And they'll say, I'm only 4 miles away. Let's get acquainted. Many apps have financial transaction capabilities, making it easy for people all over the world to blackmail our kids. Whether you're out of Nigeria or Taiwan, they can blackmail your child. And think about it. Our children were the first ones to get Bitcoin. So our kids know how to do money online transfer a lot better than we do. But that's how the blackmail begins. What happens and the way this takes place is sometimes it's really hard to visualize who you're really talking to. You know, we all see what we want to see, but we pretend those bad guys are not there. The challenge for us, all of us, is how can you tell when you're actually in danger online? Why is this important? The person that your child or you may think that you're chatting to may not be the real person at all. And so you may suddenly receive a late night message or a connect. They're waiting for your child to get in a vulnerable moment. Maybe you've had a big fight, or they've broken up with their girlfriend or their boyfriend, or it's late at night and they're just playing around on the device, or maybe they're bored, okay, and something like that, or maybe they're in the middle of a hot and sexy video game. It'll be when you least expect it, this starts to take place. It looks like an innocent, flirty message, maybe an Instagram or a Snapchat, sometimes a direct message or a chat room, any kind of that. But once the flirting begins, it very quickly turns into a request to share nudes or explicit videos. Talk with your children. The minute you see that, that should be a huge red flag. That who you're talking to is not who you think you're talking to. If they want your photo or your image or your video and it's sexual, or even if it's not, they are not your friend. The minute the explicit photo or video is sent, the reality sets in that you've been catfished and the demands begin. And the demands can be all kinds of things. They may demand money and large sums of money, okay? No matter how much money you send them, it will never be enough. If they're demanding money, that should be a big warning sign. Immediately go and ask for help. They may threaten to show the images to thousands of others. They may show the list of your Instagram followers or your TikTok followers and your image, and they're saying, I'm going to send this out there. They may tell you it's just hopeless, that you're a dead person, that you're ruined, that everybody in the world is going to see it. They may show your naked photo and all the people around them. They may start calling you names. They may suggest that your child harm themselves or consider even taking their own life. Don't panic. Stay calm, okay? This is very, very important that you have this conversation with your child. If you get yourself in this situation, I hope you don't, but all of us with artificial intelligence can become a victim. So let's talk about that. Don't panic, stay calm. You're probably going to feel like, oh, I'm ruined, but no, you still have control. You are not their first victim, and you're probably not going to be their last. You can use this opportunity to help law enforcement find them. I know it's scary for everyone right now, but we can use this situation for good. These predators may want you to create more photos and make them even sexual. That should be a sign right there that you're talking to maybe organized crime, but at least a very bad person. They may say they know where you live and they might want you to meet up with them. Share with your child, promise me you will never, ever, ever meet up with someone you met online. And they may tell you that the image will be shared with everyone you know. All of those are red flags to not panic, but to ask for help. It is important that all of you get help, that they trust you enough, mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, that they'll come to you. And whatever you do, do not let somebody you've never met bully you into making poor choices. Think this out. This is fixable, even if it's scary. So let me give you some suggestions here. Don't listen to their threats. Shut off that device. Now, you may want to screenshot the thing before you shut it off, okay? Because this is evidence, and then shut that off. If you borrowed somebody's phone or a device in the house, you may want to have everybody go on and change their user profile so that they can't be accessed. Reach out for help. Please listen to me. Do not panic. Ask for help. People will understand. There's no use sending money and more images. It's not going to fix it. So screenshot it, so that you can get a picture of the evidence and then shut everything off. Immediately get away from your devices because you're not going to be able to negotiate with them. If they cannot reach you, they cannot threaten you. Go immediately to a parent or a trusted friend and talk about a strategy to deal with it. I would suggest that you take the device and the young person and go to law enforcement or your school resource officer. These guys usually never have just one victim. They're working all over the world. This is about coming in, tricking you, and then making you think that you're ruined until you start to give them what they want. So it's important that you shut off all communication and go to law enforcement and take the evidence, and you should be able to maybe help other people. Now, the reason why this is so important, Mom and Dad, and why we've made this video is everything's changing because of artificial intelligence. Every one of us will be at risk out there. They will be able to take a perfectly normal photo and take the head off and put it on a nude body or a sexual image and start to blackmail for money. They may start to imply that a kid is missing or that they're going to blackmail until you pay off. Artificial intelligence will allow the altering of all kinds of images out there. So watch out. This is the reason why we have to have this conversation now, and why the idea of putting nudes online must stop today. Because with deep fakes, that's when the image is altered. Every one of us can be vulnerable to blackmail. Think of the number of third world countries out there where their poor people can now reach every one of us, our elderly and our kids, and start to blackmail them into sending money. With deepfakes, you may not even have sent the nude or explicit image, but you're still being blackmailed. It is important for everyone in the family to know they can share that they are being exploited. Ask for help. You can't take this on alone. You need to ask for help. And they have to know that it's okay to ask for that help because this kind of crime is going to be routine in the future. So we all have to stick together. We need that conversation up front and before any one of us might become a victim of this. So get a family strategy. I would like to suggest that you create some weird code word for your family, so that if one of your children is being threatened, you can verify whether or not it's them through your code word. Create a contract between yourself and the kids and the family, okay? That you all agree to. You have that discussion and you all sign on that you're going to do it. Every app that is on a child's device should be duplicated on the adult device. And all the parents need to know all the passwords, especially if your child is online a lot. If you ever see a vault app on there, like a calculator in front of the apps, make sure that you have the password for that because that's an app that is hiding other apps. Number two, you agree that they will never post anything online or share anything will cause them or the family embarrassment. Now keep in mind with artificial intelligence, they don't have to send the nude. They can still become a victim with whatever photos are on there. But talk to your kids that this is all changed. And so from here on out, they promise they will be very careful anything they post that won't cause them or you embarrassment. Then you have the discussion that if anyone is asking for a nude image or a video, they're not your friend. That should be the hugest red flag. If they're wanting an image that can be used against you, they are not a friend. Hang up, get away from them, and have no more conversation, but tell somebody. Number four, that they will never ever sneak out of the house and meet up with someone they met online. If someone tries to meet up with them, then they will talk to you about it. And finally, if they find themselves in trouble, and I'm going to tell you that in the future, almost every one of us will be in some sort of trouble online, that they will trust you enough that they will come and share it so that you can resolve it together and not do anything crazy like try to hide it and make it so that they pay the guy off or something. With artificial intelligence and global connectivity, millions of people will be connected to you that you have never met. Any one of us can become a victim of blackmail or sextortion, so it is important to work together and resolve what is happening. Talk to your child about being a leader and have this open conversation with them about what that means to be a leader online and how they can be a leader for others. Leaders don't send nudes online. I believe the four most powerful words on earth between a parent and a child, quite frankly, between any of us, is I believe in you. And it is important that this is done in a positive way, that you build this agreement together, you support each other, and that you understand where you're at in the timeline of history, that right now the world changed. And so you're going to stand together as a family so that you don't get victimized. If you are in danger or this is happening, you might want to dial 911. If someone in your family is thinking of hurting themselves, you can always dial 988 if they're in a crisis. But if this has happened to you, then I would suggest you take the device, do not delete, okay? Take the device and the young person and go to your local police department and ask for cyber crimes. Now, there's also a national hotline that you can report at, and you can report anonymously at that if you want. It is 1-800-843-5678, 1-800-THE-LOST. And you can also report child sexual exploitation at that link on there. Well, thank you for listening. This is Opal Singleton of Million Kids. I hope you will follow us at millionkids.org. Get involved with us, help us to do this. I'm going to see you next time on one of our videos. Thank you.